Anybody and everybody who knows beach volleyball will make an appearance at the Manhattan Beach Open here in the South Bay, Southern California to be exact. And wow, the weather is perfect, the players having a blast, and it is time for the women to take over Stadium Court. It is the second round of women's competition. Dane Bland alongside Matt Prosser, and we've had some amazing volleyball already, some upsets for sure. This is the biggest draw of the year, 32 teams in the men's and women's division, and it's been a lot of fun so far. Yeah, we just saw the 1 seed get tested, going the distance in 3 sets. That was Sarah Sponsel and Therese Kenning getting the victory, and now we're going to have the 2 seed going up against the 18 seeded team, and what should be a very exciting match here again from Stadium Court. Yeah, and everybody who plays in this, the ultimate dream is to get your name on the pier. So all 4 players having their eye on the prize, but it's time to go down to Stadium Court sand and the introduction of the players, and that comes from Mark Sherman.
And we are set for our next match here on Stadium Court. These 2 teams won their first match earlier this morning, looking to make it to the 3rd round of the winner's bracket and undefeated into Saturday. And let's see who we got. Yes, out of Valencia, California. She played her college ball at Pepperdine University. Ladies and gentlemen, best career finish of 7th place. A win right here would put her on track to beat that. Let me hear it for Delaney Mewhirter. And her partner, best finish 3rd place. She's done that 4 times. 4 semifinals out of San Diego, California. The Bruin out of UCLA. It's all Gucci, baby. What's up, Kelly? Kelly Reeves. Hey, Kelly. And their opponents, this first player, she's got a squad, doesn't she? Yes, in the inline, filling up the cabana. Hey, what's up, Rory? She is a multiple-time national champion out of USC, a 3-time winner on the AVP. Let me hear it for Sarah Hughes. And her partner, also a 3-time AVP champion out of San Diego, California, and like an opponent on the other side of the net out of Pepperdine University. Give it up for Kelly Kolinske.
All set to go here on Stadium Court after those great introductions by Mark Sherman. And to our left, Hughes and Kolinske. To your right, Mewhirter and Reeves. They have their work cut out for them. We're talking about the number 2 seed versus the number 18 seed. There's Sarah Hughes with a beautiful dig to start things off, and look at her turn that wrist down the line.
The timing of Sarah Hughes' break to that angle shot was a little bit early, but using her intuition to go on the necessary moment, gets the dig and then turns it for the point.
Kelly Reeves drops the shoulder and goes cross court over the block of Kolinske. Good look at Kelly Reeves, 30 years of age, resides in Redondo. Nice dig by Reeves. And the poke shot. She'll have a 3rd opportunity. And she cuts that ball down the lines. Kelly Reeves out of UCLA, 6-footer.
Dane, this match has all the makings to be a very entertaining matchup, right? These 2 teams pretty similar. They play very dynamic, physical volleyball. Sarah Hughes, the defender, running around, picking up a lot of shots, and Kelly Reeves on the other side, doing all the defensive work for her side, but extremely physical, and she's got a motor on her. She's going to go the whole time as long as necessary, and it should be a fun one.
Yeah, and we saw it in the last match where we had number 1 versus 17. That was a match, you know, where the underdog almost pulled it off, but it just kind of showed how difficult it is to overcome one of these top seeds. And they're not top seeds by mistake. They've earned that position. It's because they make the timely plays when they need to.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll see out of Kolinske and Hughes.
Yeah, the real difference, one of the major differences, right, between the top seeds and sort of everybody else is the experience, right? The calmness that they have on the court. Regardless of the scoreboard, they're always very calm, waiting for their opportunities. They know they're going to get chances, and they know that they have to capitalize on those chances when they come.
How about that? Mewhirter up and over with a stuff block, and they're going to need a lot of those. That battle at the net's going to be crucial.
Yeah, Delaney Mewhirter doing a good job getting that block point. She's a deceptive blocker, but sneaky, and her husband Travis Mewhirter also carrying the blocking duties, so it's a house full of blockers there at the Mewhirter household.
Delaney with the serve. Jumps into the angle, but Kolinske recognizes it and rolls it over. So important not to release early as a defender.
Yeah, the size advantage clearly in Kelly Kolinske's favor that time, using all of her height and vision to see Reeves break to the line, and Kelly able to go cross court for the winner.
Sarah Hughes going down the line. Look at this one. Delaney Mewhirter seeing the open court and a quick play. Great response time by Mewhirter.
Yeah, great turn down the line, but you have to give credit to her partner, Kelly Reeves, diving and laying out to get that ball back into the air for her partner. And a nice point that side for the 18 seed.
That ball just hits the antenna. If any part of the ball hits the antenna, the ball is ruled dead immediately and out of bounds.
Now that set just got a little bit wide. Sarah Hughes pushing it, perhaps wind taking it a little bit. The wind is picking up here in Manhattan Beach, as it does most afternoons off the ocean.
Kolinske coming over down the line, 5-6.
But again, the nice response after making a hitting error on the left side, changing up the pattern. Kelly Kolinske going for that back set and then hitting that line shot for the winner.
Here comes Kolinske out of Pepperdine University. Short serve, trying to take out the approach, and it works right there. The whole idea of that short serve is to disrupt.
I always hated the short serves. If I was getting served a lot, make me run up to pass that short serve, then back up to get an approach, then go forward again to attack. A lot of extra movement resulting in a hitting error that time from Kelly Reeves.
There it is, a second short serve, and Reeves in a little bit of trouble right there. That time, the block took care of business.
Yeah, Kolinske doing a nice job waiting, looking for the shot that time from Reeves and shutting it down.
7-6. Kolinske and Hughes leading that ball out of bounds. 7-all will take the turn. Increments of 7. It's been a beautiful day. Not a lot of elements to deal with. There is a slight breeze, but it's kind of coming across the court, so there's no real good side, bad side. Both sides are solid.
Not a big enough breeze to really influence much change of the ball flight, but just an absolutely perfect day, Dane, here in Manhattan Beach.
Tight set, and Kolinske knows what to do. She brings out the pokey.
That's such a underrated shot, right? It's not like you're going to wow the crowd by using that pokey shot, but it's such a useful and reliable shot that every player has to develop in order to get the ball past the block and down.
Nice little trick play by Sarah Hughes. She goes to the deep corner on the second contact and kind of shrugged her shoulders, saying it was open. I had to go for it.
Good vision there from Sarah Hughes, one of the best defenders on the AVP Tour. Her and Kelly Kolinske competing in the Beach Volleyball World Championships earlier in this summer. Might have seen some of her highlights on defense as they made a decent run through that event.
Kelly Reeves all over this one, but the set's too tight. Kelly Reeves ends up in the net, and those are the types of plays that Reeves and Mewhirter are going to have to score. That's an opportunity missed.
That is a missed opportunity for sure, and it's a little bit of overexertion, trying to be too good, right? Put that ball in the perfect spot. It gets too close to the net. Kelly Kolinske using all of her size to put the ball back down, and you see a over on one from Kelly Reeves. I think she did that on purpose, Dane.
I don't think she did. let's hope she did. All right.
We'll have to ask her after the match.
If she did, that's a very cagey play. We've got to give her a lot of credit. I just don't know if she did that on purpose. High hit by Kolinske.
Now Reeves and Mewhirter have to reevaluate maybe who they're going to serve, because they keep going at Kolinske. She's just too big of an attacker. That Mewhirter got her earlier, but Kelly Kolinske is going to be a tough player to stop in this match.
Wow, Kelly Reeves, we haven't seen that fire out of her. Big arm swing, quick arm swing with a lot of heat.
Yeah, I think Kelly Reeves might have gotten a little upset at herself for a few too many early errors, and see a little release of frustration on that one.
Delaney Mewhirter with the float serve to Kolinske. Kolinske coming in and putting it away. It's interesting they're going to Kolinske quite often right there, but she's doing a job and putting it away.
She was on the bad side during that setup, and she sided out nearly every single time, but they must think that they like the matchup against Kolinske's offense more so than serving over to Sarah Hughes. But we'll see here what comes out of this technical timeout.
Main draw for the men and women in Manhattan Beach. This is the Queenston match of the day. Keep yourself protected.
9-12 as we look at the AVP schedule. Next up, Virginia Beach, which is a tour event, and then a Gold Series, the final Gold Series in Chicago on Labor Day. And then late September, it's the Phoenix Championships. How do you get into that? It's an exclusive event. You get into it by your best 2 out of 3 finishes in the Gold Series. The first Gold Series was in Atlanta 2 weeks ago. This is the second here in Manhattan, and the third is in Chicago during Labor Day. And right now the front runners are Julia Scholes and Gina Urango, who won in Atlanta. They're looking to really punch their ticket if they get a win here in Manhattan.
Yeah, it really just puts more of a premium on these Gold Series events, obviously. Bigger venues, bigger prize money, bigger points on the line, and then, yeah, a ticket to those AVP championships in Phoenix.
Cut shot ends up a little too short by Reeves.
That's her third offensive hitting error going against Kelly Reeves.
Oh, looked like it picked off Sarah Hughes, trying to get out of the way maybe. Looked like that ball was going to be in anyways in that deep corner. I always think that those deep power shots are much better than trying to hit it straight down.
Yeah, the straight down shot obviously looks great on the social media feeds, but the effective shot is always deep to the corner, middle back, or a high line roll shot just like that one.
That was just a pristine shot by Kolinske. Textbook right over the block. About a foot from the sideline, a foot from the end line. That's exactly where you want to put it. Seems like Hughes is really selling that she's hitting cross court, and that's opening up that line shot.
Hughes doing a great job on defense. Another nice dig on that line shot. She runs it down and then turns it, yeah, selling the cross court shot and then chopping it back down the line.
Another short serve, trying to take the approach out of Reeves. Works again, and Hughes has an opportunity and capitalizes yet again.
Now you can see it on the face of Kelly Reeves. Just a little frustrated, not too sure what she needs to do to find the open court, because Sarah Hughes is digging everything she has to offer on the other side.
Kolinski's poke shot is dug. Reeves goes down the alley, not the street, not a lot of room to work with, and she gets it down.
Definitely sneaks that one past the block of Kelly Kolinske. She was in a good spot defensively, but just didn't seal it really, and Kelly Reeves finds it for that much needed point inside out.
Sarah Hughes challenging Mewhirter right there and ricocheting the ball out of bounds.
And even there's a little glimpse of some diversification of offensive plays from Hughes and Kolinske. Sort of the word of the day, Dane. All these teams utilizing a very diversified offense. And that's the first glance at Sarah Hughes running a little bit of a faster set to the pin on the right side.
There's Sarah Hughes. Won 5 national championships while at USC, 3 team championships, and 2 in the pairs division, which no longer actually exists, the pairs championship. So 5 championships, probably the most decorated beach volleyball athlete in the short window that has been collegiate beach volleyball. The NCAA adopted the sport as a full sport in 2016, and it's only grown, and the majority of players on the tour are coming out of universities across the country.
Yeah, it's just a great thing for our sport to have collegiate beach volleyball, sand volleyball, especially on the women's side. First men's sand volleyball at a university is opening up this fall out on the East Coast, so hopefully more schools will follow in that, because you do really see the influence and sort of the upbringing of these athletes playing, getting that high-level coaching, high-level experience playing for national championships, 5 national championships like you just said, and then really developing and bringing more value here to the AVP Tour and USA Volleyball altogether.
Yeah, it'd be nice. You mentioned that men's volleyball at the collegiate level finally has been adopted by one school. It'll be interesting to see if that can grow. Obviously, it's always difficult to add sports, and you deal with Title IX and the equity there. But that's why the women are in a much better situation now, because of the early development, the formal coaching at an earlier age. And a lot of junior high girls are saying, hey, I'm going to play beach rather than I'm going to play indoor. And, you know, we haven't seen that. It's a new thing. Here comes Reeves, a poke shot. Hughes somehow gets that up. And then the tool off the block by Mewhirter. Wow.
Yeah, great effort from both sides. Sarah Hughes with a great dig, but Mewhirter getting that final point. Here's a nice dig by Kelly Reeves as well. And Mewhirter with the back set to end that rally.
Touch on the block, and Mewhirter had to go over, and she ends up pinpointing that back line. I wonder if Sarah Hughes could have played that one.
I think she could have. She was in a good position, but with a 4-point advantage, I think it's okay for her to let it go and regroup and side out on the next ball.
That's one thing that Sarah Hughes has worked on, having not only the cut shot, but that high line shot. And when you have those two drastic shots, it makes it very difficult for the defender.
Well, you got to have both, but you also got to be able to disguise it, like we talked about earlier, and that goes for any young beach volleyball player that might be watching. Don't just always hit angle, or don't just always hit line. You have to develop all the shots. And yeah, you have your go-to shot here and there, but you got to be able to hit all of them if you want to be successful.
Mewhirter down the line. Nice wrist snap right there. Good rotation on the ball.
Yeah, just like that. I think that brings up a great point. Coming in hard for the angle attack and then just using all of your wrist and hand to change the direction and go back down the line for the point.
Here comes Delaney Mewhirter going across court to Kolinske. And Kolinske high off the block. It's so difficult. I know most players make it look very easy, but it's difficult to run from the back line all the way to the net, as Mewhirter is doing, as is Kolinske. But that first set is going to go to Kolinske and Hughes, 21-16. So never really threatened there, always had control. We'll see if Mewhirter and Reeves can turn this thing around and challenge the #2 seed in the second set.
Get ready for a whole new wave of White Claw. New full flavor White Claw Surf. Sensational refreshment for a taste like no other.
We all know it's a good idea to recycle. But what happens to that aluminum can or all that paper after you put it in the recycling bin? Where does it go? What does it become in its second life? See how WM is always working for a sustainable tomorrow at WM.com/stories.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor's coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it, some wish for it, but others make it happen.
Tryon Trevor's super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
Things starting to heat up on Stadium Court, day one of the AVP 2022 Manhattan Beach Open, as we take a look at first set stats.
And no surprise, just complete domination by Hughes Kolinske, the 2 seed, hitting 509 digs, only 2 errors on 15 kills. Get them a solid 21-16 in set 1 as we get underway back here in set number 2.
Yeah, it was a strong set by Mewhirter and Reeves, but just not strong enough. They never pressed or tested the #2 seed in Hughes and Kolinske. They were in control the whole time. Maybe a little more risk needs to be taken in the second set.
I agree with you, Dan. I think they have to be more aggressive from the inline, and they have to limit their unforced hitting errors. Kelly Reeves having 3 or 4 hitting errors in that first set that really allowed Hughes and Kolinske to get out to that early lead after that first side switch and be aggressive, but also be smart.
Big, powerful hit by Kelly Reeves on the right side, and that's how you start it up. Being aggressive, swinging hard, taking chances, you know, roll the dice. Don't think too much, just act.
Like to see if Kelly Reeves can maybe go to a jump serve and try to put some pressure on Hughes and Kolinske from the inline. Get him out of system a little bit as well.
Mewhirter with the drop, which is so difficult when you try to drop cross court.
It is difficult, and it's easy for us to see the play unfold and kind of ask, well, why are you dropping on that ball? That set was tight, it was wide. He could have lined up right next to the antenna and closed off some angles, but Mewhirter drops and Kelly Kolinske gets the easy point.
Nice cut shot by Kelly Reeves. You heard her partner, Delaney Mewhirter, saying too good, just too sharp. And that's how some angle shots are. They're just out of reach.
Yeah, and you got to give your partner some props when they might be struggling a little bit and put down a good kill and score the point for your side.
Oh, wow, that was a high shot.
That shot's nearly impossible to dig. You have to leave well before contact is made, as Reeves wasn't able to do that, and Kelly Kolinske just placing that one absolutely perfectly in the corner.
Oh, big deep hit by Mewhirter right there. And we like those deep hits. It's hard to defend.
We've been talking about it all day. I mean, attacking the perimeter of the court, right? You don't want to hit directly into the pocket where the defender is. Aim for the sideline, aim for the corner, the end line. 9 times out of 10, that ball's going to hit the ground inside the line and be undiggable.
Good pass by Kolinske, and there's the shot over the block. You know, Kolinske and Hughes were the #1 American team a week ago, but then Kelly Chang and Flint went to Hamburg and won. So I believe those rankings have changed, but they are going to definitely make a solid run for the 2024 Olympics. There's Sarah Hughes with great reaction time, trying to get a little too greedy on that over hit, or over bump, I guess we'd call it.
Yeah, I think that set was just maybe a little bit too tight for Sarah Hughes to get up there in time to attack. As we see the replay here, a great dig from Sarah Hughes. Trying to play it over in that sharp angle. Just doesn't clear the net.
Right down the middle, and that ball out of bounds. But we starting to talk a little bit about those 2024 Olympics. The qualification window will open up in January, and so it's really important that you position yourself correctly. And this team of Kolinske and Hughes still trying to get their first AVP win. They actually won in Itapema, Brazil, and that was earlier this year, and they'd love to get a win on the AVP tour, especially here on Manhattan Beach.
Just the competition, you know, not just in the United States, but worldwide, it's just really high right now. You talked about Betsy Flint, Kelly Chang winning early on in New Orleans on the AVP tour, and then going over to Hamburg and winning that Elite 16 event. And, you know, they're right back in the mix here as well. And you have so many teams just battling it out on this tour, the AVP tour, that makes it extremely competitive, extremely fun to watch, and still searching for, you know, that repeat team to win a tournament. Really, we've been talking about the parity all day long and how good these players are.
Sarah Hughes just hit that ball from the right side. She optioned it over, and what makes that so difficult, she has to wait for the ball to completely cross her body. She makes it look easy.
Yeah, Sarah Hughes getting up and just delivering on that one with no block in front of her.
Kelly Kolinske will take the ace serve for sure. You know, Kelly Kolinske, she's got 3 AVP wins, and the crazy thing is 2 of them were with Betsy Flint, 1 of them with Emily Stockman, but still searching for that first AVP win, as we mentioned, with Sarah Hughes.
Kelly Kolinske, just the epitome of a hard worker. Her husband, Billy Kolinske, also plays on the men's side of the AVP tour, and these two do a lot of work in the gym, a lot of work on the sand in preparation for their events, and see it paying off that time. Good turnaround there, as you see hitting percentages through set number 2, 857. Mewhirter and Reeves on the offensive side of the ball.
Big offense, and we're starting to see a little more option play from Hughes and Kolinske, and that can be very disruptive because the first set, we didn't see a lot of it.
No, we didn't see much of it at all, as Kolinske got the majority of the serves and sided out very consistently.
Oh, Kolinske just throwing that ball down. Kelly Reeves put it right on top of the net. Not where you want to leave it with a great blocker like Kolinske.
Just a super disciplined block that time by Kelly Kolinske, sealing it with the right hand, closing off the angles, lining up nicely, and then all right hand for that throwdown.
Kelly Reeves hitting that deep corner. You know, Kelly was the 2016 AVP Newcomer of the Year, and she is still doing her thing, searching for her first AVP championship. She's gotten a third 4 times in her career. High hit, maybe causing some frustration from Delaney Mewhirter.
I'm just so impressed with Kelly Kolinske's offensive consistency. Hardly any hitting errors. Doesn't make goofy mistakes or inexperienced mistakes. Just sees the open court. Her vision's great. And service pressure from the inline with that tricky short jump float serve. It's a well-rounded performance by Hughes and Kolinske so far.
You know, what I like about Hughes and Kolinske is they're given different looks, right? They started out one way, they'll serve you short, they'll serve you deep, and now we're seeing a lot of optioning in the second set, and just when you think you're settled into a style, they switch it.
Yeah, you got to be, you know, fluid. You have to be able to kind of change up strategies as the match progresses. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over again, right? Because that'll give your opponent to settle into it. Keep them guessing and keep moving around, and as long as it's working, keep doing it.
Hughes with the heavy arm and a few straight to get us to the technical timeout at 12-9.
Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kolinske speaking with her coach, Abby Matthews. And you see Hughes and Kolinske dead even on their hitting efficiency, but Kolinske is the one getting the more attacks. Should they stick with that strategy if you are Mewhirter and Reeves?
I mean, at this point in the match, Dane, Mewhirter and Reeves might want to consider changing up their strategy on who they serve. I mean, they've been going at Kolinske. Both players are hitting 500 at this point. Risk a little bit, be aggressive from the inline, attack the middle, maybe to the sidelines, try to catch them off guard a little bit, but see if you can get them out of system, because when both players are hitting 500, you're not pressuring them enough from the inline. They're just in system the whole time.
Yeah, and you saw in them Mewhirter hitting over 600, Kelly Reeves in the 200s, Mewhirter with no errors, Reeves with 5. So Hughes and Kolinske will continue to target Kelly Reeves and test her as much as possible, since she has given away a few points. It's 12-9, Kolinske and Hughes leading Mewhirter and Reeves. That ball into the bottom of the net, make it 12-10.
Around the line goes Kolinske and Hughes at the line, 3-0.
Kolinske just getting that one past the block of Mewhirter.
And then there's Reeves crushing that one cross court. You know, interesting fact about Kelly Reeves, she was born at the UCLA hospital, and her mom actually was an All-American player for UCLA. So I think it was written early where she was going.
Yeah, she grew up in San Diego, but yeah, and returned to Westwood for her college experience and playing.
So pick your poison here. Hughes and Kolinske both siding out at a very high level. Serve it tough as Mewhirter did, and they're going to have an opportunity here. Kelly with the dig. The set is too tight, but they get a break by Kolinske poking it long, and Kolinske a little frustrated. That was a gimme.
Yeah, that's a rare error coming from Kelly Kolinske, especially when she had so much open court there. Just missing the end line on that overset attack.
13 all. Remember, Hughes and Kolinske won set number 1. Looking to close this thing out in 2 sets. And how about that beautiful cut shot? That's what we talked about Sarah Hughes earlier. She's got that extremely sharp cut shot and the deep corner line shot. And as a defender, you almost have to guess which way you're going to go, because to do a full read, it's hard to move that much.
Well, you're right on all accounts, Dane. That was an extremely sharp cut shot from Sarah Hughes. Kelly Reeves did a great job, maybe breaking a little bit early to it, but getting the ball up just not quite high enough for her partner to play it, but a touch nonetheless. However, the point will go to Hughes and Kolinske.
Short serve and option. Kolinske throws it down, and that's what that short serve does right there. It looked like Reeves tried to force the option play, and Kolinske wasn't tricked.
Yeah, the short serve really working nicely for Kelly Kolinske, challenging Kelly Reeves. That time Delaney trying to go with the option play, but it was just too tight. Kelly Kolinske there to get the stop and take a 2-point advantage on the side switch.
Short middle this time, and smart play by Mewhirter putting that ball over on 2. I don't think they would have had good offense. Reeves was down on the sand after that pass, and it's difficult. That short serve, as you mentioned, Matt, it takes out your approach.
Yeah, it did certainly that time, and Mewhirter with some good vision to go back to the corner. And Hughes, though, just comes right back again with a very methodical in-system side out for Hughes and Kolinske.
Sarah Hughes out of the middle. Continues to work on Kelly Reeves. That's an inside set. And Reeves will get out of jail free move right there. Looked like she was in some trouble.
Yeah, she did. And I think you get a glance at a little bit of a wry smile there from Kelly Reeves, realizing that she did get away with one that time.
Mewhirter with the serve to Hughes. Hughes with the drop shot. Delaney Mewhirter's got it up in the air. She's going to have a third opportunity to score here, and she buries this one at an extreme sharp angle.
And that might be the spark that Reeves and Mewhirter need. What a play by that side, and an emphatic cross-court winner there from Delaney Mewhirter to end it.
Sarah Hughes from the right side. The roll shot's gobbled up by Kelly Reeves. She's going to have a really solid look at it, and yes, that ball goes down, so make it 17-16. This is crucial timing. This is where Mewhirter and Reeves really need to assert themselves, to strike. They've gotten themselves to this point. Now try to push over the top. Kolinske and Hughes seen enough. They're going to take a little break with their coach, Evie Matthews, and discuss this one. But they're not making it easy, Mewhirter and Reeves.
Yeah, no, they've gotten some momentum now at this stage. This is the best part of a set, right? It's 16-16. You know, it gets down to the meat and potatoes of the set. You get a glance here at the statistics, and hitting percentage climbing a little bit. But still pretty much in favor. Mewhirter Reeves hitting 667 here in this set. That's a strong number. Keeping their errors limited, right? Only one attack error and one service error. That's a big difference maker here at this stage of a match.
It's crazy that Kolinske and Hughes have 1 block and 2 aces. I mean, those are direct points, yet they're down a point here in this set.
And it came back down to that last play where Kelly Reeves broke to the line, got a good dig, and then transitioned it for a real point. It's nicely done and gives them that 1-point advantage as the teams come back out onto the court after that timeout. It's interesting to see how Hughes and Kolinske respond now that they're losing for the first time since the 4-3 side switch early on here.
Here we go. 16-17, Mewhirter and Reeves leading. They opt to go to Hughes. Hughes with a nice high cut shot over the top of the block of Mewhirter, and we're all tied up at 17. They've been serving Kelly Reeves short. Will they continue that here? It seems to have been effective, but Reeves starting to figure it out.
Yeah, that strategy has worked. Kolinske will serve down the middle, taken by Mewhirter.
Oh, geez. Sarah Hughes just absolutely unleashes. That goes off the left hand of Kelly Reeves, ricochets into her head. I hope she's okay. I think she's just a little bit rattled, as anyone would be when someone lowers the hammer like that.
Yeah, Sarah Hughes just delivering on that one. A great set from her partner.
And you saw the sportsmanship immediately by Sarah Hughes. Make sure that Kelly Reeves was okay. And this, of course, a thunderous hit is the White Claw hard seltzer, pure spike of the day. Kelly Reeves not happy about that one. Take a look at it again. Nobody at the net, a dangerous situation. There's a sportsmanship. But that's the White Claw spike of the day.
Well, now it'll be really interesting to see where Kolinske serves. Will she go short over to Reeves after she just got rattled a little bit? They serve it to her, but deep.
Oh, Reeves tries to go at Hughes, but Hughes digs it and then tools the block out of bounds. Wow, but they're saying that it went off the block and touched Sarah Hughes on the way out. That's a bold call unless you directly saw it if you're the umpire.
Yeah, let's watch this replay. A great scoop by Sarah Hughes. Here comes the attack off the block.
Oh yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Just remember, everybody, the referees aren't allowed to look at the video.
And what a time for this call to come out, too. That's unfortunate.
It didn't even look close. It was the cell of Mewhirter who said there was a touch, and the umpire believed it, and that ball served right out of bounds. So what do they say after that happens? The ball never lies.
The ball never lies, Dane, and clearly Sarah Hughes was right. That ball didn't touch her on the way out. And now a 1-point advantage.
Oh, they go to Delaney Mewhirter. We haven't seen this in a while, and she's going to snap it down. We talked about her hitting efficiency above 600. Her partner, Kelly Reeves, has been targeted and has struggled a little bit. She's played really well, but Kolinske and Hughes have scored some points off her. This is a crucial point.
Just too good, too consistently good. A great set from Kolinske, a better call to her teammate, finds the open court. Sarah Hughes scores the point on that cut shot.
So just like that, we're at match point for Kolinske and Hughes. Gonna need a side out if you're Mewhirter and Reeves. Hits right at Hughes, she scoops it up, and Hughes for the win, and there it is. Kolinske and Hughes victorious here in the second round, and their work all wrapped up on this first day, Friday, at the Manhattan Beach Open. They were tested, but they stepped up to the challenge.
They were tested, and what a response from Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kolinske, especially in the late stage of set number 2, where that phantom call going against them really could have led them to, a little bit of a lack of concentration, but they come right back, show their class and patience, and they're able to score 2 points right away and then win this match in 2 sets.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That could have been tragic. That phantom touch call off of the block, as we saw in replay. But you know what? You got to give the refs a break. They get so many of these calls correct, and they don't have the luxury of instant replay that we have up in the booth. But there's a look. It started. Happy ties for Sarah Hughes. And they ended on top as well. It was all those shots, the cut shots, the high line shots. Kelly Reeves had her work cut out for her. She had to deal with Kolinske all day long with that huge block. And some crafty shots by Sarah Hughes really made it happen.
Just showing why they're seeded number 2 in this event. Kelly Kolinske with a great match offensively, and Sarah Hughes with some very timely digs in the backcourt, like that play right there to seal the victory. Pretty even statistics all the way through, even all the way down to those next level data analytics. 9,700 feet combined per team. 429, 420, 71 hitting percentage. Just a very even match, and at the end, Hughes Kolinske steal the win. Those 2 aces really helping and limiting their errors. They get the victory and move on.
So there you have it. The number 2 seed of Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kolinske do their work here on Friday. They advance to the 3rd round and will compete tomorrow. Delaney Mewhirter and Kelly Reeves drop to the consolation bracket.